Ladies and gentlemen, children of the interwebs out there, Sebastian Envy, the strong style nerd, strong style cinephile, and of course, a few hours ago, Marvel Studios dropped the final Black Widow trailer. In this trailer, it kind of filled in some gaps that maybe we were speculating about seeing the other trailers for this movie and what the plot was going to be and how it was going to play out. So let's geek about that for a scant few minutes. Now, early on in the trailer, Natasha, Scarlett Johansson, her character references things that she did before she was an Avenger, mistakes she's made. Now, of course, in the first Avengers movie, there's some allusion to reference to her having blood on her ledger, red on her ledger, that she needed to clean up, try to wipe away, which is why she kind of defected and started working for S.H.I.E.L.D., became an Avenger to try to right some of her previous wrongs that she had done in her past life as a spy. And we have also, in the second Avengers movie, got kind of a look into some of where she came from and what became what was called the Red Room, which is basically the training program protocols that turned her into the Black Widow. And they're going to revisit this in the Black Widow because apparently after Natasha escaped, they restarted the Red Room and they're engaging in mind control, using drugs and other means to create these just robotics. I'm assuming here, just based on what we see in the trailer, just based on other movies that kind of deal with the same thing. They have this group of robotic acting weapons that they put out in the world to do bad things. Now, are they an organization that is trying to take over? Do they hire them out to the highest bidder? That remains to be seen. But the one thing we see is that they, like I said, through drugs or whatever means, they are totally, and it's even referenced by Yelena, that they have no control over what they're doing. They probably can see it and remember it, maybe, unless they get brain wiped post-mission debrief, which is entirely possible. But they have no control over their physical functions to be able to stop them from carrying out what they're carrying out. Natasha's mission in this movie is to go back and basically burn that place to the ground and make sure what happened to them does not happen to anybody else. So I think that's the gist of it. Now, where Yelena, David Harbour's Red Guardian, come in, and the mother that they've come in as the family aspect of it, that I'm not exactly sure. I don't know, maybe if he, either one of them was a part of the program, maybe they got, it's that age. Again, these are just tried and true story plots and tropes and stuff we have seen in other spy movies. So none of this is exactly going over breaking new ground within this kind of genre of movie. Now, maybe David Harbour's Red Guardian was some sort of bodyguard or enforcer or something that was somebody who was supposed to enforce the rules or protection or something within the scope of the program, and maybe he saw Natasha and Yelena and just saw something in them and just suddenly wanted to save them. It like woke up, it warmed his cold heart, or maybe he was just a guy with a heart of gold on the inside, just doing what he had to do to survive. And then it finally got to the point where he just couldn't do it anymore, so he just broke out and took Yelena and Natasha with him when he escaped. Remains to be seen how that plays out. That's what I'm kind of speculating, and I'll be interested to see kind of how this family dynamic plays into it. We had some standard Marvel jokes and stuff in one spot earlier in the trailer during a car chase, and then at the table scene with the family to kind of establish their dynamic. And I'm interested to see that. Of course, Red Guardian is kind of like Russia's Captain America, so it'll be interesting to see how David Harbour plays that role in his second shot at some superhero business after the failure that was the Hellboy remake. We get to see more of Taskmaster. We find out that he's running the Red Room. And we just see more of him in action. We see him flexing Black Panther skills and abilities, Hawkeye skills and abilities. He's got a shield, so he's got Cap. We see him watching footage of Natasha to, I'm assuming, study her moves, because Taskmaster's gift, his power, is to be able to copy moves that he sees other people do, moves and abilities and such. So of course, any sort of fighting style he's able to pick up and then replicate. So I'm really curious to see how that's going to play out. And they continue to get more mileage out of General Thunderbolt Ross. He pops up in a quick shot in the trailer. Totally caught me off guard. Wasn't expecting that. Didn't read that he was going to be in it. This, I believe, is supposed to be post-Civil War, so I'm kind of wondering, is he out to hunt down the Widow for kind of messing up the plans for the apprehension of the other guys at the airport, and how all that played out in Civil War. Remains to be seen how that played out, but it was cool to see him, and the continued connectivity of the MCU is just fun to see as things play out across the different movies, utilizing the different characters again and again and their connectivity. I'm here for it. I love it all. And of course, we also see your various, bombastic set pieces and explosions and all those fun things that we'll see play out in the movie. Hopefully the ending climactic battle is not super overdone with CG. Hopefully it just comes down to just one-on-one fisticuffs with, I guess, Natasha and Taskmaster. So all in all, it kind of made me more excited for the movie, for a movie that I was kind of indifferent to for a lot of reasons as far as the Black Widow's concerned. I just was not clamoring for a movie with her in it. There's so many other characters. It's my problem I have with DC and Warner Brothers, constantly wanting to do Batman and Superman when they have, so many other viable characters that deserve the cinematic treatment. Same thing with Marvel and the Black Widow. I mean, this was something they should have pulled the trigger on like 10 years ago. Well, I guess maybe 6 or 7 years ago, considering when the movies came out and stuff. But maybe 6 or 7 years ago they should have done it. But we're doing it now. But the other elements in the movie, Yelena, in 2 minutes, she won me over, and I'm clamoring myself for more of her rather than more Natasha going forth. Harbor's Red Guardian, I'm excited to see that. And then, of course, Taskmaster, his costume. Still, I mean, I wish it was more skull than skull-faced biker helmet, but that's okay. I'm waiting for the execution in the comics. I know there's going to be some transition and transformation from comic book to MCU. They've pretty much been faithful in the costumes and adapting them for a more realistic, even though it's a comic book movie, yes, I know, we're saying realistic, but a more real-world feel, a more tactical and practical feel for the suits. So anxious to see how it plays out on the screen. May 1st, the movie drops. I'm sure I'll be in line to see it. What do you guys out there think? Those are some of my scattered thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Follow me, social media, that stuff is there too. And yeah, until next time, let us geek.